catching swordfish, baby. Let's go! That was the most epic fishing trip of my life. I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun, exciting at the same time, all thanks to Rob from Deer Meat for Dinner. Everything is gonna be on his channel, the whole fishing trip. And if you guys wanna watch that, make sure you do right after this video. Now let me show you how me and other YouTubers cook the steak of the sea. And here we have the two pieces I chose for today's cook. Following my brother Rob's advice, the first thing to do is to make sure that I pat it dry. If there's any moisture, it's not going to be as good. So that's the first thing I did. Then I went ahead and started to clean it up a little bit more. And here you really notice how beautiful this piece of meat actually is. This is one of the reasons I like to call it the steak of the sea. One other advice I got from Rob is to put some paper towels right on top of it. This will absorb all of the moisture, because when you let it rest in your refrigerator, the meat will actually change. And since it was nighttime, I let it rest in the refrigerator overnight, because once I took it out, take a look. See that indentation right there on the edge? As the meat rests in the refrigerator, this is very normal. But now that you know the best methods to take care of the meat, it's time to process it. And the first thing I like to do is to split it in half. Notice right here we have a big bloodline. Yes, you can eat it, but it's quite fishy, so I like to remove all of it. Then I like to slice them in 1 inch thick steaks. And as you can see, this is as beautiful as it gets. I mean, we call them steak of the sea for good reason. One last thing I highly recommend is to remove the skin. It is extremely tough, and unless you're gonna deep fry this whole thing, I highly recommend taking it out. Because once I was done, take a look. With only that piece, I was left with 8 beautiful steaks. Now that is what I'm talking about. As you know, I love to experiment. I wanted to go crazy, so I first started by seasoning with a good amount of salt, because the next thing to do is to rub this paste right here. And this one is a little crazy, and that's because I made it out of this Wagyu beef tallow, aka Wagyu fat. I know what you're thinking. Guga, you're crazy. And yes, I am. So after putting a good amount on the bowl, I added freshly ground black pepper, garlic powder, Korean chili flakes, and mixed everything together. And this is what I was left with. My thought is, since the fish is so lean, it deserves a little bit of fatness. And as you already know, Wagyu fat is fantastic, as now we're gonna make sure that the fish is fully covered with it. I spared no expense. Once they were fully coated, I transferred them to a cooling rack, because the next thing to do is to smoke it. I'm doing so at the temperature of 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll be letting it smoke until I reach an internal temperature of 131. As once the time is up, I took it out and look, perfectly smoked swordfish steaks. To finish it off, I went ahead and basted with a little bit of butter. As we all know, butter makes everything better. The only thing left to do now is to give them a try. And for that, I have some very special guests. The only thing left was to plate it up, add a little bit of parsley for looks, and have my friends try it out and see what they think.
Cheers. Wow.
Wow. That is really, really good.
I gotta admit, that's a good fish.
I did not think that putting it in a smoker like this would make it so melt in your mouth, but it is.
Extremely moist, more moist than I expected it to be.
Tenderness, it's like Nick said, it just melts while you're chewing it. It's awesome.
Not too smoky, but you can definitely taste the smoke. Perfect.
Ah! Damn, Nick!
For our next preparation, Nick's gonna take over. And just like me, the first thing he did was to butcher it. After removing the loin and the skin, he was left with some beautiful swordfish steaks. Take a look. Now that is what I'm talking about. Now, as you know, the first preparation was a complete experiment for all of us. And Nick went ahead and did something crazy as well. And the first thing he did was to dunk a full bottle of mayo. At first, I thought he was joking, because come on, he was having a real good time with this. Once he was done, you can see that every single edge was fully covered with the mayo. I think that's a great idea because swordfish does not have a lot of fat, and mayo is almost 100% fat. For the seasoning, he went quite simple. A very good amount of salt, followed by freshly ground black pepper, and of course a little bit of garlic powder. You gotta make sure to get your seasoning properly. He transferred all of the steaks into a carbon steel pan, and he was ready to go in the oven. And as you can see, he's pretty happy with the results. That's my brother Nick. So into the oven he went at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. Once the time was up, we took it out and look, it's fully cooked. But at the same time, we do not have a crust. But not to worry, we can fix that real quick. So I took out the flamethrower and went to town, because once I was done, now take a look. Now that is what I'm talking about. The only thing left to do is to taste it and see how good it is.
Cheers, everybody.
Oh wow, crazy.
Salty, creamy, fatty.
The flavor is just outstanding.
It doesn't taste fishy at all.
There is zero mayo taste. The combination when you cooked it did something, I can explain it. I just highly recommend.
And it's so tender, it just wants to fall apart.
I can't wait to taste Angel once we dry age him too, right?
That's right.
Yeah, you promised me I could be here for that.
Absolutely. How long shall we go for?
I was thinking like 100-day dry age.
Come over here, mother.
For our final cook, we cannot forget the good old grill. That is my specialty and what I really love the most. So I started by coating everything with a good amount of oil, then followed by the salt. As once that was done, I followed it up with freshly ground black pepper, garlic powder, and smoked paprika. I made sure that these steaks were seasoned perfectly, because the only thing left was to go ahead and cook them. And for that, I'll be using my grill. First, I'll be putting a nice sear, then cooking them in indirect heat until I reach an internal temperature of 131 degrees Fahrenheit. As now we're going to be determine which one is actually best. So now I say it is enough talking and it is time to grill them. So let's do it.
Bomb.
Oh, wow.
I think this is better in every way compared to the smoked one.
The flavor is absolutely out of this world.
The smoked one is homogeneous. It's the same throughout the whole thing. To me, it's like eating a bowl of soup. Every bite is the same thing. This one has that really nice texture on the outside, which is fantastic. The seasoning's all there, you can see that. And then the fish is really flaky. It's delicious.
This is exactly what I think of when I think of amazing grilled swordfish. It's fresh, and you can taste the hardwood.
I just like the flavor profile of having that charcoal.
Yeah.
I think it makes it a lot better.
too, actually.
It's fantastic. This is way better than the other one. It maintained a lot more moisture.
I mean, this is the way to go if you're gonna cook swordfish. This is what I've tried today.
We got more of this?
The flavor like flies around in your mouth. It's just like you're constantly getting new flavors and it explodes in your mouth. I better stop before I start spitting everywhere. That's insane. That is amazing.
All right, everybody, here I have everyone together. Nick, thank you so much for helping me cook. And Rob, thank you so much for catching that monster fish, man.
My pleasure.
That was an incredible experience. Now, we cooked several different ways. I want to know what you guys think. Which one was your favorite, Nick?
I liked the grilled. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the crust on there, the little bit of texture was delicious. I thought it was super juicy. I thought it was just as juicy, if not more juicy than the other ones. And I think most importantly, it was like kind of the texture. It was the flakiest, I think, of all of them.
What about you, Rob?
I second that. When you bit into it, the flavor just jumped out at you. It had a little bit of a hardwood flavor to it, yet it had that beautiful fresh swordfish. And if you've ever had fresh swordfish versus not fresh swordfish, there's a drastic difference.
Right.
And to me, the grilled was absolutely the best. So for me, it was the grilled, then baked with the mayonnaise, and then the smoked.
You know what? The smoke was probably the least favorite because I put some Wagyu fat in there as a twist. So yeah.
Of course you did.
Exactly, right? That's what I do, Nick. If you mix up Wagyu fat and swordfish, might not be the best idea, everybody.
But I tell you what would make it even better. If you were to take that same smoked fish and just break it up and make it into a dip with a little bit of a sauce, maybe some capers and a nice baguette, I think you'd have something amazing.
That would be delicious. Yeah, you mix it all together and you eat with little crackers. Guys, those are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you go check out Rob's video for the full hunt of that amazing swordfish. You guys already know my brother Nick. Go check him out. Please subscribe to both of these guys. They are amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in anything I use, everything's always on the description down below. And just in case, if you are wondering which one is my favorite, I have to go with the grill.
The grill?
There you go.
The grill.
It's unanimous.
Unanimous. The grill is better, everybody. See you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.